Alright, Ryder's dead, Shinji's out, Saber's dying. It's night 11 and the game is changing, baby. Oh yeah, and before we start proper, I just want everyone to know that I, in my own downtime, had been doing some research on mythology. Just, try to get an idea of what's some of the characters. And in my research, I am now 100% sure of who Ryder is and why she is a Ryder. I'm not going to say it because, why not see how the game decides to reveal its information on its own. But just got to say, I think it's really cool. But that's not the servant whose identity is relevant right now, is it? Artoria. The girl who had just finished her rite of passage would be known by that name from that day on. It was a time of chaos and war. It began with the demise of an empire. An empire believed to be indestructible was only awaiting its destruction at the hands of invading barbarians. To prepare for the war against these barbarians, the empire deprived this island country of any military forces. That was the beginning. Once her country lost the empire's protection, it could not escape becoming independent, and it broke into smaller countries in no time. The barbarian invasions, self-destructive strife between clans, a long period of war that would later be called the Dark Ages. She was born in this period as the heir to the throne. It was a long period of chaos. The king believed the Magus' prophecy and yearned for the birth of his appointed successor. But the child that was born was not one the king desired. The child was not a boy. Even if the child was fated to become a king, he could not make a child that was not a boy his successor. The girl was entrusted to the king's vassals and was raised as a child of a mere knight. The king fell in despair, but the Magus was delighted. The sex of the one who would become the king had never mattered. He was confident the fact of the girl being separated from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof that she would become king. The girl grew up as a successor under a simple and wise old knight. The old knight did not really believe the Magus' prophecy. He just felt the same air from the girl as he did from his king, so he felt that he must raise her as a knight, and he wished her to grow. But the knight did not even have to wish for such a thing, as the girl trained day after day to become stronger than anyone. If only a king can save a ruined country headed for death, the girl swore to bear a sword for that reason alone, without ever being told so. So, the day of the prophecy arrived. Knights and lords from around the country gathered to be selected as the king. Every one of them expected the selection to be through jousting, if the most superior one was to become a king. But the only thing prepared at the place of selection was a naked sword stuck in a stone. On the hilt of the sword was a golden inscription. Whosoever pulleth out this sword of this stone is rightwise king born of England. Many knights grabbed the sword, following that command, but no one was able to pull the sword out. And the knights began the expected method of selection by jousting. As the girl was only an apprentice, she was not qualified to joust. The girl neared the deserted stone of selection and reached out for the sword without hesitation.
いやいや、それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がいい。
She turned around before her was the most feared magus in the country. The magus said that she would no longer be human once she took a hold of that sword. The girl only responded with a nod. Becoming a king means no longer being human. She was prepared for that ever since she was born. In short, a king is someone who kills everyone to protect everyone. The young girl thought about it every night and shuddered until morning came. No day passed that she did not fear that fact. But the girl said that it would end this day. The sword was pulled out as if it were only natural to do so, and the place was filled with light. In that instant, she became something not human. The king's gender does not matter. No one will care about the king's appearance or even notice if the king acts like a king. Even if anybody noticed that the king was female, there would be no problem if she was a good king. Perhaps because of the sword's magic, the girl's growth stopped at the same time as well. Many knights feared it as ominous, but most of them praised their master's immortality as divine. And thus, the time of the king who became a legend started. The battles of the new king were indeed the acts of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Artoria, the god of war. There was no defeat for a body admired as a dragon in human form. For 10 years and 12 battles, she knew only victory. Those were the days she ran through as the king. She never turned back, was never disgraced. She was raised as the king and fulfilled her obligations as the king. Is that why I saw such a figure? Her soul must still be on the battlefield. Before daybreak, resting her body in the wind under the indigo blue sky, she just gazes into the distance. The sky is high and the clouds are flowing fast. Under the clear air, she's looking at the great army she must face with her sword in hand. That figure is burned in and will not go away. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone that chose the king. I think the brilliance of the sword that selected her fate is also her brilliance. But I wonder in the dream, the sword is different from the one she had. It's similar, but different. The one she had used last night is different from this sword. So, how did she lose such a fine sword? All hail King Artoria, the once and future king of England. That's so fucking cool. Amiya wakes up wondering why he saw all those images of Saber's past in his dreams, and it's a pretty good question. But unfortunately, that is not our most pressing issue, as if you will recall, Saber is dying from her lack of magical energy, and the solution that has been proposed to us is having Saber slaughter innocents to absorb their souls. This is weighing heavy on Amiya as he wanders around his house, contemplating his future decision. Amiya eventually wanders out into the yard, where he confronts Archer. The conversation between Amiya and Archer can be summarized into 2 key points. Number 1, Archer is now fully healed and is ready to enter the battle, to which I say, thank God, it's about time this freeloader actually did something for this alliance. And point number 2 is Archer telling Amiya that he needs to follow through in his decisions. He needs to accept the consequences of his choices. I'm summarizing this greatly as the conversation is much longer and everything Archer says is, as usual, dripped in metaphor and vagary. To quote Amiya on this, I just don't like this guy. We get a status and weapons update, which at first I believe is for Archer because during our conversation we do see his bow, But in reality, it's for... Right, I know her name now. Wait, oh! Now, I'm not gonna make you listen to me read the entire King Arthur myth. Flipping King Arthur's gender has some interesting questions. Like, what about the Knights of the Round Table? What about Guinevere? What about Mordred? And more specifically to this story, what about the Holy Grail? Emilia, to go clear his head, to once again think about his decision of what to do with Saber, goes for a walk. I, personally, immediately have objections to this. Why do we have to be here? Why couldn't we stay... We could stay at our house. There's plenty of rooms. Unfortunately, Emilia does not have enough time to figure out what to do about Saber or to come to the realization that he is a moron before he is interrupted. Suddenly called.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
イリア、お前また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
As I start to say, I'm amazed at my stupidity. Ilya is a master too. You shouldn't be worrying about this. And anyway, aren't we enemies?
悪い。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
Sitting down on the bench, I dismiss Ilya. There are things I need to talk to her about, but I have my hands full with Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything. She just stares at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア。いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。それでシロはどうしようか
Why do you know that?
考えてるのよね。
Suddenly, the girl in front of me says this coldly as if she's someone else.
イリア。
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シロがそんなだから、ライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
I move my legs. I know it's bad to say sitting down, so I put my power to stand up. But my body does not move, as if entranced by Ilya.
イリア。
Thank you.
なんでそんなこと。
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
Try to move my arms and legs, but they won't move at all. Feels like they're stiffening the more I put power into them. And those eyes, looking into Ilya's red eyes, making my body go numb and...
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。シロったら守りも何もないんだもの。一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
I told... What? Oh, so we're... Oh, she actually has a span... Oh. Oh, we're... Oh, okay. I told you this was a bad idea.
いや。
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
Murderous intent mixes into Ilya's gaze. This is the same Ilya as that night when she was the master of Berserker.
俺をここで殺すつもりか。
Gritting my teeth, I gather all my strength. But I can't even twitch my fingers. Every nerve in my body is wrapped in Ilya's stare.
だってもうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。 セイバーが消えたらシローは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
He raises her hand. Her white slender finger touched my chest. What the fuck?
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。それじゃあおやすみなさいお兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
Now, I understand that in order for a story to have conflict, certain things need to happen. But can there be at least a little bit of conflict that isn't the direct result of Amiya making the stupidest fucking decision possible? So anyway, in Amiya's unconsciousness, Amiya dreams about being a complete fuck up and sucking, and dreams about some foreshadowing that I'm not worried about right now. So I'm too busy just being disappointed. Eventually, Mia does regain consciousness. Unfortunately, Ilya has not decided to just kill Amiya where he stands, leaving every single route to Amiya's inevitable death. Yes, we regain consciousness in what is a pretty nice room. I'd say I'd happily live in that. But unfortunately, Amiya is currently tied to a chair with some rope. It's not the ideal situation. But before we get to really admire our situation or these awesome stuffed animals, someone enters the room. Door opens up. I realize my power at the same moment as she walks in.
あ、やっと起きたんだ。おはようお兄ちゃん。体は大丈夫？
Ilya is acting totally different from before. Her cold eyes are gone, and the Ilya before me is the white girl who was talking to me in the park the other day.
どうしたの？なんか元気ないけど、まだ体は動かない？おかしいな。そろそろ声ぐらいは出せるはずなんだけど。
What the hell is your problem? She looks at me, tilting her head. It looks like she's just worried about me.
大丈夫だ。声は出るし、頭の方も自分が捕まってるってわかる程度にははっきりしてる。
I glare at Ilya.
何よ、不満なの？捕まえた
Listen,
敵は
I'm
ね、
just happy you didn't
本
kill
当は
me,
力
alright?
を
I have
入
a
れた
good
子供
run
なんだ
going.
よ。
I don't even know what the fuck I would go back to change. If you had killed me. Because that was a lot of shit that's happened since my last choice.
けど、それじゃシローがかわいそうだから、特別に私の部屋に連れてきてあげたのに。
Aren't you sweet? Ilya looks displeased. I don't know if I should be thankful or not. But anyway, I'm starting to understand the situation I'm in.
なんとなく状況は分かった。俺は捕まって。
Why am I still alive?
わけか。
I say so sharply, killing my emotions. As long as I don't know the full details of the situation, I should listen for now.
そうだよ。前に言ったでしょ。私は森の後ろに住んでるんだって。ここは樹海の中の城で、周りには何もないわ。シローが住んでる町まで車で何時間もかかるんだもの。助けになんて来るはずもないし、絶対に邪魔も入らない。
そうか。それは分かったけど、なんだってそんなことをしたんだ。俺を殺すんなら、あの公園でできたじゃないか。
なんで？私、シローを殺す気なんてないよ。シローは私のだもん。他のマスターは殺すけど、シローは特別。
Well, that's a thumbs up. I don't know why. I think it's more time shenanigans. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. I don't know why she's picked me out. But thumbs up.
だから誰も邪魔が入らないようにシローをここに閉じ込めたの。
Hey, okay? I automatically lean back. Ilya puts her face close to mine as if not caring about my feelings.
エリア、ちょっと。
This is not. What's. I know it's indiscreet, but my heart's beating fast from the weight of Ilya on my legs. Even though she's not heavy, she feels so alive that I can't think straight.
やっぱりシローは特別。
Oh.
ねえ、私のサーバントになってみない？シローが私のサーバントになってくれるなら、もう殺さなくて済むわ。シローがうんって言ってくれれば、それでシローだけは助けてあげるよ。
She says so in a fawning voice. This is nothing half-hearted. Ilya's words are so pure, I won't be able to take it back if I nod. And if I do betray her, all her purity would probably turn into hatred. This isn't going to be a choice, is it? With Ilya so close to me, my confused mind freezes. Isn't just that she likes me. Ilya's question asks me if I want to live or die.
考えるまでもないでしょ。シローにはもうセイバーはいないんだもの。戦う手段なんてないわ。ならマスターでいてもしょうがないじゃない。
違う。セイバーはまだ消えていない。そんなことさせるもんか。
けどそんな状態じゃ簡単に殺されちゃうよ。いいからシローはここにいればいいの。シローがずっとそばにいてくれるなら、私もずっとシローを守ってあげる。
Ilya snuggles up to me. I don't even have the freedom to push her away. I don't know what will happen if I disobey her. But I still can't nod to Ilya's words.
ダメだ。離れるんだ、イリア。どんなに言われても、俺は。
Ilya puts her finger up to my mouth. The girl smiles and looks up at my bewildered face.
もう分かってないんだから。いい？今のシローはカゴの中の小鳥なのよ。生かすも殺すも私の自由なんだから、あんまり私を怒らせるようなことは言っちゃダメ。10年も待ったんだもの。ここでシローを簡単に殺しちゃうなんて。
10 years?
そんなのつまらないでしょ。
What are you talking about? Her voice sounds like a girl who wants a toy. I gasp, sensing cruelty that sends a chill up my spine.
これで最後だよお兄ちゃん。もう一度だけ聞いてあげる。
She looks up at me, full of hope.
シロー、私のものになりなさい。
Ilya says so as if allowing no refusal. Hey, that's gonna be a yikes from me, dog. Ooh, wowie zowie. Ew. This is another rough choice. I'm not sure Ilya is the kind of girl who takes no for an answer, but I also am not sure that giving our consent makes this situation any better. The way I see it, looks like we're kind of fucked either way. Probably could have worded that better. But in the end, I am familiar enough with hentai, familiar enough with tropes to know that you should never, never ever make an agreement with someone who has magic binding powers to be their servant. I don't even need to think about it. That's not true. And I can only take so much. Why does everyone think Saber is disappearing? Saber won't disappear. I'm going to fight with her until the end. I can't undermine the oath with something like this.
イリア、お前の言うことは聞けない。俺にはセイバーがいる。セイバーが残っている限り、マスターとして戦うだけだ。
I hear her gasp. Her red eyes open for an instant like rigor mortis.
そう。あなたまで私を裏切るのね、シロ。
Ilya backs away. The girl looks down at me, not getting upset.
いいわ。シローが私の言うことを聞かないなら、今まで見逃してあげたけど、それもこれでおしまいなんだから。
Ilya's voice is filled with murderous intent. Oh boy. Feel an ominous tone to it.
待っていなさい。すぐに用を済ませてくるから。
Oh my god.
待て、何をするつもりだ、イリア。
何って、セイバーとリンを殺しに行くの。二人を殺してくれば、シローも少しは後悔するでしょ。
バカなことを言うな。セイバーもトウサカも関係ない。俺は自分だけの都合でイリアとはいられないって言ってるんだ。
そうなの？けど二人は殺すわ。それが終わったら次はシローの番よ。私のものにならないのならシローなんていらないもの。
She starts to go. She's serious. She's going to kill Saber and Tosaka. And Ilya will probably manage that easily.
やめろ、イリア。セイバーもトウサカも関係ないだろう。捕まってるのは俺なんだから。憎いって言うなら俺だけにしろ。二人を殺す理由なんてない。
理由はあるわ。私以外のマスターは生かしておけないもの。それが聖杯戦争でしょ。
バカ、簡単に人を殺すなんて言うな。お前にはそんなの似合わない。イリアはまだ子供なんだから、そんな真似だけはしちゃダメだ。
After looking at me in amazement,
残念ね。私はもうマスターを殺してるんだよ、お兄ちゃん。
oh, Ilya says so with a cheerful face.
もっとも、それは昨日の話だけど、予想外といえば予想外だったかな。私、あいつはお兄ちゃんが手を下すって思ってたのに。
Oh my god, she killed Shinji. Hell, even if this is a bad end, that's some very, very interesting information. Okay. At that moment, to my surprise, I clearly understand what she's talking about. You said she was in the building last night, so was the master fleeing in front of her the perfect prey?
イリア、お前。
ごめんね。シローがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだ
Sorry
け
to
ど。
kill steal you, bro. Doesn't sound guilty at all. Really, yeah. Must have been nothing at all. That makes me realize, no, I should have known the last time I met her. This girl has no sense of good and evil. This girl laughs innocently, is Ilya. The girl laughing mercilessly is also Ilya. Not like the devil and an angel are in her at the same time. It's just that Ilya is a devil called an angel. I like her.
それじゃあ行ってくるわ。帰ってきたらシローの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。
Okay, will do.
もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。お兄ちゃんじゃ、この鳥カゴからは出られないでしょうけど。
We... So, paralyzed and tied to a chair, we're forced to wait for Ilya's return. And just as I start to worry about the possibility of Ilya returning in a cut to black, cut back moment, returning and rolling Reen's head across the floor, Emiya begins to tell us about Mystic Eyes. Oh, but before we get into that, Shinji's fucking dead! What the fuck? Oh my god! So anyway, Mystic Eyes is an ability in the magic world that allows you to paralyze someone by making eye contact with them. That's almost certainly what Ilya did to Emiya here. Now, the Emiya of old would be helpless to this, but things are a little bit different now, as of a couple days ago. For you see, now, Emiya has a switch. So, with his switch, Emiya is able to turn it on and overflow his body with magical energy to try to wash out the simple spell that Ilya has cast on him. And he actually manages to do it. This also causes him to throw up blood, but hey, at least he's not paralyzed anymore. Now that he's unparalyzed, Emiya is able to untie the rope as it was weakly done and manages to stagger towards the door. But as he does so, he hears what he believes to be a patrol outside the door. Man, this escape's gonna be real rough, Emiya. Glad I don't have to worry about any... Oh, shit. Okay, our body is still weak from the paralysis. We're not really fully over that, plus whatever we did to our own body to try to fix it isn't really helping, so we're kind of in a shitty position there. In this condition, if we try to fight, we're almost certainly gonna get ourselves killed. I don't care if it's the maids, if they're on Ilya's payroll, it's gonna be bad. We could try to pretend we're still captured. That could buy us like a second or two, you know, if they just peek in to make sure we're still there, you know, that would solve that situation. And hiding, I mean, at least it's the only situation where they don't know exactly where we are, but it would probably set them on high alarm, so hiding under the bed isn't great either. Oh shit. We're going with the chair. Oh please, oh please don't come in here. Oh god. I have no time to think. I don't have a chance of winning with this body, so I should avoid fighting until I feel better. Cross my arms and try to pretend that I'm tied up. The door opens. Is it Ilya or someone from the castle? Anyways, just before the person enters the room, I manage to sit down in a chair and put my arms behind my back. Saber! Oh yeah, Saber! Thank God! The first thing Saber does is be impressed by my decision to pretend to be still kidnapped. So, you know, feeling pretty good about that. And the second thing she does is scold Emiya for being stupid enough to get himself in this situation.
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか。一人で行動するなとあれほど言っていたのに、やすやすとイリアスピールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁される。
What I keep telling him. Me and her are just so in sync. We're practically soulmates at this point. Oh yeah, and Reen and Archer are here too. Which makes Saber's ability to get to this castle make a lot more sense. To summarize how they got here, due to Saber's connection with Emiya, she was able to realize that he was captured and locate him. Once they arrived, they noticed Ilya and Berserkules leaving the premises, and once the coast was clear, made the move to try to go rescue Emiya. Now that they're here, Reen notes that, hey, maybe we didn't need to stop by. It looks like Emiya was able to do just fine, on his own. Archer agrees that they shouldn't have come, but mostly because he thinks that had they not come, Emiya would have surely gotten himself killed, and would have been out of Reen's hair. Fuck you to Archer. Emiya is mad that Saber is here, because last time he saw her, she was on the verge of disappearing. Saber says she's fine, at which point Reen puts everyone in their place as she tells Emiya that Saber is not fine and she definitely should not be here, but they needed her because they wouldn't have been able to find Emiya otherwise. Also, they shouldn't be arguing about this because they need to go, since now that they are intruding on Ilya's domain, she should surely be aware of it and should be heading back as they speak. They have no time to waste. We head out into an immaculate hallway where Saber and Emiya have a quick chat about Ilya and the current situation. However, they're quickly interrupted as Green shouts them down, saying, "Hello, what part of 'we need to go' did you dickweeds not understand? The plan is right now to just head out into the Great Hall here and walk right out the front door. There's no one here to stop them at present. But you and I know better. Nothing ever really goes to plan, does it?"
なんだ、もう帰っちゃうの？せっかく来たのに残念ね。
I realize this big open hallway is a perfect area for a boss fight. The voice of the girl who shouldn't be here echoes through the room with a faint laugh. Turn around instantly. Everybody stops. As I turn around to see the enemy, I understand that I will be killed if I turn my back on it again. He definitely doesn't have a sprite.
イリアスフィル
Tozaka's voice is shaking. Across the hall, on the stairs we came down, is something that should not be there. Strangely, like the time before, Ilya is standing above us with Berserker standing behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. As I can feel the servant strength now, I can understand how much of a monster he is. How absurd. He's not at a level Saber could match even in our normal condition. This probably wouldn't even be a fight. That thing is not something that can be beaten in battle. Defeating Berserker means eliminating it without fighting it. In other words, we should have avoided him if we didn't want to die.
こんばんは。あなたの方から来てくれて嬉しいわ。リン。
Ilya's voice is cheerful. The smile is the same as it was 8 days ago. Innocent and merciless emotion that will kill any insect she catches. I understand now. We won't be able to get away. I can't stop Ilya no matter what I do. Even if I can get Ilya's attention, that doesn't mean everyone else can get away.
どうしたの？黙っていちゃつまらないわ。せっかく時間をあげてるんだから、遺言ぐらい残した方がいいと思うな。
She giggles. We don't have such composure. We will run for the entrance if there is an opening. Even though we know there will be no such chance, we can only wait for it.
じゃあ一つ聞いてあげる
But still, Tozaka takes a step towards Ilya.
イリアスフィールあんたが戻ってきた気配はなかったけどもしかしてずっと隠れてたのかしら
そうよ。私はどこにも行っていないわ。私はね、ここからあなたたちの道化ぶりを眺めていただけ。
そう外に出て行ったのは偽物ってわけ
Man, who's the fake Hercules?
ええ、あなたたちが来ることは分かってたもの。私は主人なんだから、お客様のおもてなしをしないといけないでしょ。
You're really great. The giant figure suddenly disappears. Oh, I don't know if it jumped or just moved. Berserker appears in the middle of the lobby with a whirlwind. Oh my god. We're done for now. If we retreat, we'll be slashed in half the instant we turn our backs. We will be killed as well if we stay like this. The only path left is to challenge that massive death, knowing it'll be pointless.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ始めよっか。バーサーカー。
I don't think she's gonna stop if she disembowels me now. The girl raises her hand as if performing some kind of ritual, looks down at us, and
誓うわ。今日は一人も逃がさない。
oh fuck. She declares so with delight and murderous intent. Light shines in Berserker's eyes. The servant that has obeyed Ilya up to now has his mind released and identifies us as his enemies. A gritting sound.
父さん
Sokka grits her teeth hard as if regretting something.
ばあちゃん聞こえる？
She murmurs a quiet voice without turning around.
少しでいいわ。一人であいつの足止めをして。
She orders her servant to die. Archer does not answer.
バカな正気ですかリン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。
私たちはその隙に逃げる。あーちゃんには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
Ignoring Saber, Chisaka continues her instructions. Her voice is cold, killing her emotions. Archer, who has been silent as if pondering something, quietly nods and...
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば私も逃げられる。単独行動は騎兵の得意分野だからな。
takes a step forward, as if to protect Chisaka. Berserker does not move. Only Ilya's laughter can be heard from above.
へえ、びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるっていう。
You don't know he's unknown. He could be like... Jesus. The Archer.
なんだ。
Known Archer
案外
Jesus.
可愛いとこあるのね、リン。
Neither Chisaka nor Archer has the composure for a rebuttal. Chisaka and Archer now know the fact better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed as usual. Chisaka is watching Archer's back. She must not have anything to say to him. Chisaka should know her command is unreasonable because she told her servant to die so that we can escape.
あーちゃん、私。
Chisaka starts to say something, but
ところでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Archer interrupts her words in a cool voice unsuited to the situation.
いいわ。何？
Chisaka looks at Archer with a downcast look, still looking at Berserker.
まあ、別にあれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろ。
What a badass. Archer says something unexpected.
あーちゃん、あんた。ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。ガツンと痛い目に合わせてやって、あーちゃん。
そうか。ならば期待に応えるとしよう。
Fucking go for it, dude. Archer moves forward. There's only 10 meters between him and Berserker. That thing should be able to close that distance in an instant. There's almost certainly a two-parter.
いいわ。やりなさい、バーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつ、バラバラにして構わないんだから。
Oh, she's losing her composure. She lost the war of words. Oh no! It's all going down for Ilya. Ilya speaks in a hysterical voice. Chisaka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出れば、それで私たちの勝ちになる。
Chisaka starts to run, taking both Saber and my hands. Saber follows Chisaka without objection. I start to run to the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But from behind
エ
me,
ミヤしろ。
he stops me with his back to me. Turn around, letting go of Chisaka's hand. The lobby, now far away, is the back of the man facing
いい
Berserker.
か。お前は戦うものではなく、生み出すものに過ぎん。
Berserker charges. Archer stares at his enemy without backing off, still empty-handed.
余分なことなど考えるな。お前にできることは一つだけだろ。
He's definitely telling me to cut the projection
その一
stuff.
つを極めてみろ。
know. Archer raises his hand. I don't know when he got it, but in his hand is that short sword.
忘れるな。イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
The red back sinks. Berserker attack rages. I start to run without seeing the clash of the two. Sokka and Saber are already at the entrance. Run without turning around. The red back tells me to just go. We run off into the woods that surround Ilya's estate, leaving Archer behind. It's going to be a 3-hour run, according to Reen, to get to the nearest road, so we'll be running constantly until then. With Emiya coming off of paralysis and Saber fighting to keep herself in existence, it's not looking to be a fun trip. To the point where eventually Emiya has to start carrying Saber as she's unable to continue. After about an hour by Emiya's estimates, he can't take anymore, and Saber requests to be left behind. Reen says absolutely not, and decides to lead Emiya and Saber to a ruin that her and Archer had found on the way here. They're going to try to rest up there for a little bit. It is around this point that I believe that I came up with a solution to our Saber problem. Wouldn't the best thing to do, especially if Archer ends up dying, would be to transfer Saber over to Reen so that Saber can get her power supply from Reen. And then it's not really important to me who wins. Giving Reen and Saber the opportunity to win while providing support is probably our best option. Whichever, I'm just speaking out loud. We'll see where this goes. I just think this would be a cool path to go down. You know, a lot of interesting layers you can play with Emiya currently being servantless while having a command seal. But that's neither here nor there right now. As we take Saber into the building and lay her down on a bed, let her rest. While she's doing that, Reen and Emiya have a conversation that only gets more surprising as we go. Mumbling reminds me, we were able to make it to this ruin, but what happened to Berserker and Archer? He remained at the castle to keep Berserker there. It's already been more than an hour, so Archer should already have retreated as well. Oh. Tosaka doesn't answer. She just places her right hand on her chest as if holding something dear. That tells me of Archer's fate. Tosaka's command spell is on her right hand. The master and the servant are connected. As Saber sense my danger, the master can sense the life and death of their servant.
Tosaka, あいつは
まあね、足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。あいつ最後までキザだったな。
Tosaka murmurs as if laughing off a bad rumor. I think we gotta do this. Silence follows. The silence that seems to last forever is...
けど、無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上、バーサーカーはここで倒す。
Aborted by the sound of Tosaka punching her left hand with her right.
悔やむのはここまでよ。悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の信条。ここまで来たらあなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
覚悟って何のだよ。
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。セイバーを連れてたらこの森からは出られないし、彼女を自然に回復させるにしたって時間がかかる。どのみちイリアに追いつかれるわ。わかる？私たち3人揃って森を出るにはバーサーカーを倒すしかない。それができなければ私たちもアーチャーの後を追うだけよ。
バーサーカーを倒すだって。
That monster? Beat that whirlwind of death that nullifies every attack and destroys all that touches it in a single blow. Can't even imagine that. Anything that fights him will die. Tosaka must know that as well. She's saying we'll beat it in spite of that? What am I saying? Tosaka isn't saying we can beat it. She has no such false hopes.
そうか
That's right, we're not going to beat him to win. Should have realized that immediately.
倒すしかないんだな。
It's just that. If we don't want to die here, we have to beat that monster.
そういうことよ。けどそれほど絶望的な状況ってわけでもないわ。いくらバーサーカーだってアーチャーと戦った後なら何らかの傷を負っているはずよ。私だってとっておきの宝石を全部持ってきてるし、セイバーさえ回復すれば打開策の一つや二つは作り出せるわ。逆に言えばね、バーサーカーが傷を負っている今こそイリアスフィールを倒せる最大の機会だと思わない？
That may be true. Is there a way to heal Saber? I hate to say it, but I don't think there's any way to heal Saber here.
セイバーの治療に場所は関係ないわ。セイバーは単に魔力切れで弱っているだけだもの。一定量の魔力さえ補充してあげれ
I
ば、
think we're doing
あ
this.
とは以前通りの能力を発揮してくれる。
Hey now, Tosaka. Have you forgotten? The problem is I can't do that kind of magical energy replenishment.
方法はあるわよ。その昨日ってもう一昨日に説明したでしょ。サーバントに魔力を分け与える方法は共有の魔術とそれ以外にわずかな方法しかないって。
Back then, well, I didn't say anything because I didn't think it would end up like this. I can recall the conversation yesterday. She certainly did say,
まあ召喚時にセイバーとパスが通っているはずだからまだ方法があるかもしれないけど。
something like that.
思い出した。パスは通ってるから魔術以外の方法があるとかなんとか。
What happened to the voices? Everything's like cutting out. Yes, you and Saber are not only a spiritually connected path, but also a physical path. So there's no need to use difficult magic to give her magical energy. All you have to do is give her energy. But I don't know any way to do that. What the fuck happened? Hold on, you say the master gives energy, but how do I do that? Tosaka looks at me in surprise. She stares at me for a while, and then tells me it's simple. Is this one? What? Is this why there's no voices? Sleep. Sleep with her. Saber's a girl, fortunately, so it should be easy, right? She says lightly. What? Sleep with her? That means because since Saber's a girl, it should be easy. What? What? Hold on. Why are we going this way all of a sudden? What? Holy shit! This is how we're doing it, huh? I have to assume, okay, I have to assume that's why the voices are gone. What are you so surprised about? Unison from sex is standard procedure. The semen of a magus is a cluster of magical energy. Don't you know that poor magi sell their semen to the association? Stop. Hold on. Okay, alright. Jesus Christ. Just so you know, the rest of this part is dedicated to this, so strap in. Before we dig into the real issue here, I just want to get it straight that we are talking about magical semen here. That sounds like something you'd read in the porn parody of Fate, but no, that shit's canon. That's in the lore. That's interweaved with the universe. Oh my fucking god. Now, I'm not gonna play completely innocent here. I knew there were sex scenes in this game. I've been pretty open about that, in the comment sections at least. And I elected to do this version. I thought it would be at the worst funny. And between you and me, it is. But I thought these would be towards the end of the route, you know. You've done your relationship with the girl, you've picked all the right options, you know, and then they have sex. It's, you know, it's a normal adult things, you know, a relationship, a loving relationship. But this is insane placement. We just found out Archer died. We are currently being hunted by Ilya, who at this point is the main antagonist, and Hercules, the most unstoppable character in the game, to my knowledge. But now we have to have this wacky and then later erotic sex scene in the middle of it? And don't get it twisted, this is not some fade to black or like heavily censored or implied thing. It's like, this is explicit. I have seen King Arthur's vagina. And hey, personal thing? Kind of curious, why didn't we do this like before Emilia got captured? Like, I don't know why murdering civilians was put on the table before. Well, you could have sex. At least everybody involved consents to it. And when I say everyone, I mean everybody, which includes Reen, who gets heavily involved in the foreplay because Saber's too weak to actually do anything, and Emilia's too chicken shit to step up. I guess that feels kind of shitty to say, but whatever. On top of all of this, the game seems like ashamed of itself for this. In the remake version, they completely erase this. They don't even allude to something like this. They change it to Reen and Emilia doing a ritual to transport part of Emilia's switch into Saber, and that's how she gets her magic supply. Which is also something we could have done back at Emilia's house before Emilia got captured, so that really doesn't fix that problem. Doesn't make me feel that much better, to be completely honest. Hell, even this version of the game is ashamed of this. All the CGs for this scene are in a completely separate page, separated from the entirety of the rest of the game. As you saw, Emilia starts the scene off by like, wait, why are we swerving in this direction? Later on, he says, I feels like I've been transported to a different dimension, and at the very end of the scene, he says, in order to maintain my sanity, I'm going to have to pretend what happened here tonight was a dream. And between you and me, I think we should do exactly the same. At one point, while Saber and Emilia are having sex, Reen goes to the corner and watches and masturbates. I didn't need to tell you that, but a lot of things didn't have to happen tonight.